Hey everyone, I'm Amanda of Fortuneknot Designs, and today I wanted to do something a little bit more fun. Along with being a crochet fiber artist, I'm also a professional astrologer, and I have been doing astrology for over 10 years. I take clients, I read charts, I do the whole 9 yards. And this is going to be what the Zodiac is crocheting. Crochet would technically fall under the rule of Mercury, so you can base this off of your sun, moon, rising, but also take Mercury into account. Mercury rules the hands and the arms and the breath and the mind, but we're just focusing on the hands today. Starting off strong with Aries. Aries is going to be crocheting Amigurumi because it has a very high reward factor, but they're also convinced that they can crochet anything in the world. However, they get distracted really easily, so they are the most likely to just have a pile of whips everywhere. Aries are very initiatory. They start a lot of things, but they can rarely finish them. Taurus. Taurus is ruled by Venus. Venus rules love and values what you find valuable, how you want to be loved and how you want to love others. It's what's very near and dear to your heart. But Venus is also super fashionable, and Taurans are fashionable by default. Maybe a bit cozier, but they're still in fashion. Because of that, I think that they would crochet a lot of cardigans. Cardigans never go out of style. They're comfy, they're cozy, they're a crowd favorite, but I also think that they would be more likely to crochet or knit those partner mittens. You would make 2 regular gloves, but you would also make one that is combined, so you can hold hands with your partner while you're staying warm in the mitten. That's really Venus and really Taurus coded. Gemini. Geminis have so many whips. They have so many just stashed away. They're probably also doing a lot of scrap yarn projects, and the reason I think this is because their minds run at a mile a minute. They can't sit still for very long. They're more likely to talk about their crochet projects rather than actually finishing them, and they're more likely to impulse buy yarn and materials rather than do anything with them. So they likely have a very huge yarn stash and an even bigger pile of whips that are just maybe going to get done someday. They're probably also using Pinterest to figure out their next crochet project and then just pinning it to a board and then going, I'll make that someday, save, and then never, revisiting that. Cancers. Cancers are going to be crocheting things that are comfortable, cozy for the home, things that just liven up the home a little bit and make their lives more comfortable in the process. Whether that's mug cozies or blankets for their nesting, maybe crocheted socks, they're going to have things that are just around the home to make it really fucking cute. Come to think of it, they're probably also one of those crochet people to have one of those like granny square blankets, like the just continual granny square blankets draped over the back of the couch like in Breaking Bad. Cancers are definitely going to be crocheting something like that, like throws and pillows and cozy shit. Leos. Leos are going to be crocheting dresses and like cool shirts and really maybe avant-garde shit. Just so they can take it out in public and people can look at them wearing it and they can go, thanks, I made it. Leos are not afraid to be seen and to, be out in the world with whatever they make. They're very confident in themselves. Leos are going to definitely crochet a lot of hair scrunchies. Leos have a mane. Lions always have a mane, and Leos always have the best hair, beard, whatever. Y'all have the best hair, and y'all know it. But sometimes it gets a little poofy out of control, and you need to just tame the mane a little bit. Virgos. Virgos are going to be crocheting tapestries. They're artsy, they're organized, but the instructions are also laid out in a grid very plainly. And they like plain instructions that cannot be misconstrued. They're also likely to crochet baskets and like those little wall yarn and plushie hammocks, cup holders, things that are utilitarian. And they have a use, a function. Virgos like things to be functional. They like things to have a use, not to just sit around and gather dust and just to look at something that's not going to be doing anything for them. Libras. Libras are crocheting specifically those like bobble stitch pillows. They're cute, they're classic, they're homey, they're adorable, but I've also never seen somebody go, oh my God, that is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Everybody's always either loving it or super neutral, and that is Libra's comfort zone. They don't like other people to hate them or what they do. So if they can make something that is perfectly neutral, that is even better. Libras are also pathological people pleasers, so they are more likely to make a lot of things for other people and not crochet for themselves enough. Scorpio. I have a problem saying this next word, the word of the item I have assigned to Scorpio. So we're going to see if I can say it today. It always comes out sounding like baklava, but let's give it a go. Scorpios are going to be crocheting balaclavas. I got it. That's the first. Okay. Balaclava. And there it goes. The mask. The mask. The mask. They're crocheting that because they need some like disguise for their little midnight outings, their spy missions. Like they need the tea. They have the tea on everyone and everything all the time, but they need their own little sneaky disguise. And because Scorpio is the ruler of the excretory and reproductive systems, I can see them crocheting like some bikinis or some crochet lingerie or something like that. Maybe pairing it with the balaclava. Why can't I say that word, dude? Moving on. Okay, now Sagittarius. Sagittarians seem to think that taking a vacation is the same thing as therapy. They would rather run away from their problems than confront them because going to a beach or going to a mountaintop, going for a hike for 3 days sounds so much better. But this also means you're practically living in your car. Sagittarians are going to be crocheting car seat covers, little sunglasses holder that goes on your visor, little shifter decor, things that just make your car a little bit cuter, a little bit homier, a little bit more comfortable, and a little bit more fabulous because, you know, Sagittarians are like Leo in the way that they have that fabulous aspect. They like to be recognized for what they do and what they have. So having a cute car that's all crocheted, right up their alley. Capricorn. Capricorn is going to be doing filet crochet. They're just going to be doing things a little bit more differently. Like, yes, they will crochet some cute, like structured, very organized instructional filet crochet that's very hard to mess up. However, it's also probably going to be a little bit sassy and snarky, like a filet crochet in one of those big frames that says, "Bless this house." They'll probably be filet crocheting, "Get the fuck out." Classic look, but super sassy. Very Capricorn. Aquarius. Aquarius is going to be crocheting drawstring bags for your weed, and maybe even the lighters, like the mushroom cap lighter things, whatever, like little bitty drawstring bags for all of your tools. But I can also see them crocheting little amigurumi cutesy little like detailed mushrooms and those sea slugs and like cutesy little things like that that just end up becoming clutter. I feel very close to this one because I am dating a double Aquarius, and although they are ruled by Saturn, they don't get a whole lot of the classic organization traits that Capricorn gets from also being ruled by Saturn. Aquarius is an air sign, so it has a bit more of organized chaos going on. And finally, Pisces. Pisces are going to be crocheting things that are comfortable and cozy for them that also suits their escapism. Pisces is ruled by Jupiter. It is a watery sign, but they're also more likely to fall into escapism and even addiction routes if they don't have something to keep them rooted to reality. Pisces are very artistic, they're very crafty, but they're also very sad little fishies at times. So they need something to keep their mind off of being a sad little fishy. Pisces is going to be crocheting book covers so they can have cutesy little books to suit their escapism. They can escape into a book. Maybe little keyboard pads and those like a little plushie wrist armrest thing. Because if a Pisces isn't crocheting or doing art, they're probably online playing video games. But all Pisces should have one of those mermaid tail blankets in their house somewhere that is so violently Pisces. And I think that suits them perfectly. Now I know not all of these will apply to every zodiac sign, clean, cut, and dry. That's not really the point of this video. It's just to have fun. I'm an astrologer. This is what I interpret what the signs are going to be crocheting based on energy and vibes alone. But if I did hit the nail on the head for some of you, tell me what your sign is and what you're crocheting right now. So if you want to see more crochet, bookish, and maybe astrological content, follow along for more. I'm also not only on YouTube, I'm also on TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky. I have a website, I'm on Threads. There's also Lemonade and pretty much everywhere. So wherever you are, chances are I'm there too. You can check all of that out in my link tree down below. So until next time, I'll see you later. Have fun and happy hooking.